This is our third in our series of photo editing to try to improve old black and white pictures. Okay, so here's a picture of our Aunt Barbara and myself when I was an infant. This was probably taken in 1945 or early 1946. She was my babysitter a lot during my first couple of years. Anyway, let's see what we can do about turning that into a better picture. So now we're in Luminar Neo, of course, and we're going to look at restoring this picture. So we'll drag it over. Well, we better get in the catalog first. We'll drag it over there, and then we'll do the full thing. We want to repair it, and we'd also like to colorize it. So that's why it's full. So we'll just restore. And that's going to take a little while to do, so we'll come back. Okay, that's done now, and you can see it's doing a kind of reasonable job. I mean, basically, what we have is typical South Texas yellow-green grass against the backboard of my grandma Fraser's old wood paneled house in South Texas. Alright, well, let's see what we can do about editing it. So we'll go back to catalog and we'll edit it. Alright, well, as usual, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to develop. And we'll do an auto adjust there. And you can see what it's done is it's increased the contrast and deepened the shadows. Alright, let's go down to the curves and add a little bit more contrast, which is the usual thing you have to do with these faded black and white pictures. So we'll come up a little bit there and drop it down. Just draw the typical S-curve. And don't want to overdo that, but it still needs to be done. Okay, that's all good. You can also, we can try to see if there's any, well, we mostly seem to be enhancing the grass, but we'll go about there to enhance the picture. Alright, next what we'll do, you notice it was a little bit sloppy whenever I first edited this in black and white, so I think I'll crop that and make it a free crop as well, so that we can get rid of that little bit up there. That was just a bit of laziness when I edited this picture way back when. Alright, now what we want to do here is let's get ourselves out of South Texas. So what we'll do is we'll go to Layer Properties, and we'll what's going on here? There we go. Now let's go to masking, and then let's remove the background. That'll take a few seconds, and let's remove that background. That didn't take very long. And it's done a pretty good job. Even the hairs and so forth around the head, it seems to have done a decent job on them. Alright, let's add a layer back to the background. Well, I've got a number of, let's just kind of make it a nice plain background that's nice. Something like a pale, we'll go with blue. Alright, and what we'll do, we'll drag it down below, and we'll increase the opacity. Okay. Now, something that's interesting, you see, this is kind of a pattern of a blue, and it's all right, but you may decide you don't really want that. So you can actually go down here to color, and you can change, for example, the saturation. Suppose you want to turn that into a gray, or you want to make it a really intense blue, or vibrance. Or the other thing you can do is you can go down to the hue, saturation, and luminance, and you can actually change the hue shift is a good one to use. So you can kind of go through whatever kind of color that you would want for that particular pattern of the. You can change the color, particularly if it's kind of a monochromatic background that you're going for, and that's kind of nice, that green. And if we take that and if we drop down the saturation of that green, I think that gives us something that's a nice background. Alright, well, and we'll do one other thing. Let's go down here, and I always like to, with people at any rate, put a vignette on them so it draws in so we'll put it right there as where we're going to center the vignette, and then we'll go all the way first to see how it, and again, that would be, in some instances you might like that if you're, but I think just something a little bit tamer still can draw you into the subject. Alright, now that we've got all that, let's save that. So I'll export that, and what we'll do is we'll make that, we'll call that Neo. So we'll export that. Then we'll go see what we can, now let's go see what we can do with a AILM. Okay, we're ready to do something in LM Arena. And remember, we've got it set up so we're direct chat, so we can do a bit of a conversation if we need to. And we are going to use Nano Banana. Alright, so let's tell it what we want it to do. We want it to repair, and we would like to colorize, and I think it's simple enough. I think we want to replace the background with a childhood nursery. Okay, let's send that on its way, and then wait for a little while before we get the result. Okay, that took about a minute. And as you can see, it's done a reasonable job. We'll have a closer look. It's done a reasonable job, and it's put a children's nursery in the background. So let's save that. And let's call that banana. And the next thing we want to do is see if we can take this image back into Neo and hopefully make it a bit better. Well, we're now back into Neo with the thing that Banana produced for us, and we're in edit mode. So first thing, let's just see what happens if we hit the develop. So we'll do the auto adjust. and it's adjusted. To tell you the truth, I would really like that to be a little bit darker. Okay. The other thing I would like to do is I would like to put the noiseless filter on there. See if we can improve it, and that looks a bit better to me as well. It's not quite as noisy as it was. All right, so we'll keep that. Now what should we do? We should, I guess, let's sharpen it up a little bit. Let's go back to develop and sharpen it up a little bit using the curves tool. And so we'll reduce the bandwidth a little bit there, and then put a little bit of S to it to increase the contrast. And not too much. We're already pretty, that's better. Okay, that looks good to me. Now, what else should we do? I guess we could put a vignette on it. I'm not sure it's really needed there, but let's put it in the middle, and adjust the corners, I think, and that's not bad. And finally, let's do an overall enhancement of it. I don't think it's adding much at all, so we'll just keep it like that. Now let's export that, and we'll call that Banana Neo. Well, alright, let's now go to XR to see about rating them. So I'll get that all set up. Anyway, here are the results, and this is also a reason why I sometimes go to XR. Well, I practically always go to XR, get a second opinion on how good my editing job was. So, for example, if we go to the original here, it was about 40, in terms of what XR rated quality of the photo was. This was when I just edited this picture in Neo, the first one we did, and it dropped. So all the stuff I was doing mucking around there, basically, as far as the aesthetics is concerned, according to XR, didn't do anything to improve it. The next thing that we did recall, we just took it in and we just said repair it, colorize it, and put a baby's nursery in the background, and it did. If we look at that, we can see it went all the way up from 52, essentially from the 40 that's the original black and white. When we tried to take this and then improve it with that, it actually dropped. And it dropped not very much. It's still significantly better than the original because it came from this, but it dropped compared to what the Neo Banana did. Anyway, there's a little lesson for us all there, but let's just take a look at the best one, which was the one that was produced by and you can see it's not a bad picture, and it puts it in a realm around 50, which says that's a little bit above average, in terms of compared to Happy Snaps, which typically, Happy Snaps at least, the ones that I've been through from our family history, our Happy Snap seems to go somewhere between 25 and 40. And that's why the original here would be considered, the original black and white would be considered the top of that range, and we actually were able to improve it compared to that.